From Georgia, Mr. Carter, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for this hearing, Mr. Chairman. We are committed to a government that's accountable, and we need to be accountable, and so do the agencies, especially the agencies, and especially when we're talking about the government's response to COVID-19 pandemic. The American people deserve, they deserve this information. They deserve answers and accountability because there have been clear failures by this administration over the past 2 years. We still got existing vaccine and mask mandates that are, and we've experienced diverting funds away from frontline healthcare workers to COVID campaigns. It's no wonder why the American people have lost their trust in our public health institutions. I'm no different from any other member of Congress up here. I have a lot of pride in my state. I'm very proud that the CDC is in my state. But I'm very concerned about the public perception right now of the CDC, especially after what we've been through. That is of concern to me as a native Georgian and as a representative from the state of Georgia. So, Dr. Walensky, I hope that you'll help me with this. But I want to start with Dr. Tabak because there's something that's very important to me as a healthcare professional, and that is gain-of-function research. I want to ask you, in the fiscal year 2023 omnibus, section 2315, there was a provision included that would ban the funding of HHS dollars towards certain types of research involving pathogens of pandemic potential or biological agents or toxins that are at risk to be a severe threat to public health and safety, effective immediately. This ban is in effect until the agency conducts certain review and oversight of protocol, and it can't be lifted. It cannot be lifted without the appropriate notice to Congress. My interpretation of this provision is that it's a ban of gain-of-function research. And we may have a different definition of gain-of-function research, but I want to ask you, can you please speak to how NIH is implementing this provision?
So we do need to have a short conversation about gain-of-function research. That's a generic term, and it gets us in all sorts of trouble. The type of research that you and everybody is concerned about is a very narrow portion of that, where you take, for example, a virus and attempt to make it more transmissible, you attempt to make it more pathogenic.
Okay, I'll accept that, and I appreciate that answer. That's what this was intended for in the omnibus. And my question is, are you implementing this?
And we currently are not funding that type of research. We have nothing in that category. The NSABB, which is an advisory committee to the USG, just provided a set of draft recommendations which will presumably tighten our approach to this type of research. Once the report is finalized, which we expect will occur very shortly, I will send a memorandum to the Secretary of HHS, and he, in turn, I presume, will reach out to the NSC and to the OSTP to convene a government-wide effort to update the framework with which we work in these.
I want more. I want to hear more than just the effort. This has to be done. So what you're telling me is that it has been done, and it's been done immediately. And I'll accept your limited definition of gain-of-function research.
That is
okay. Then it goes on to say that in the 2023 omnibus that we ban the funding of pandemic potential research in foreign countries of concern. And we define foreign countries of concern as China, North Korea, Russia, and Iran. Can you tell me, has that been done?
There is no funding of EPP research in any foreign country today that is sponsored by NIH.
Has there been in the past?
No.
There has not been in the past?
There has not been in the past funded by NIH related to the SARS-CoV virus. Many years ago, there was EPP research conducted in the Netherlands, and that was an influenza.
Okay, let me ask you one other thing. This legislation also mandates that all funding for the research be stopped no later than 60 days after the bill is enacted, and that's the end of the month. Can you commit that your agency will fully comply with the law? Fully comply with the law and completely defund any relevant grants at this time?
We have no current grants funded, so there's nothing to defund.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I'm clear. You're not funding anything with your limited definition of gain of function research, nor have you in the past. Yes or no?
In the past, there was funding in influenza research, but currently there is no such research funded.
And there will not be in the future.
We have no plans that I am aware of.
Thank you, and I yield back.